Make sure your insurance doesn't come up short. Get gap cover with ALA. For more information, follow the links in the description.
Hello everybody. I know you all love a real good tale of woe. Those stories that always start with a thumbnail of me stood by our car going and usually having just spent far too much money maintaining a car I do far too few miles in. There's stuff like this, my Ferrari F12. But today's video is very different, for it concerns the car in my fleet which means more to me than any other. And today is not just about financial suffering, but emotional too. This is, I think, the first time I've ever had work done to a car that was so bad it actually made me cry. What was it? Well, find out in today's melodramatic episode of JayEmm on Cars. Now the car in question is this, my Rover 100R track car, converted from road to track specification probably about 15 years ago by a company called Talon Sports Cars. Back in the days when these things were fairly readily available and parts could still be easily had. They were cheap, they were fun, and if you do what Talon did and stick in a 180 horsepower MG 1.8 VVC K-Series, they're pretty handy round a circuit too. And this one means so much more to me than anything else, in spite of the fact I've only driven it about 20 yards, because this car was bought for me as a birthday present by my friends. It was on my birthday track day this year when I lamented the fact I didn't have something sensible and cheap to take around the track. I found this on eBay, showed it to them and said, if I could, I would. And they all got together behind my back and bought it for me. Now, that was a really genuinely emotional moment, and it was not really much of a surprise to find out when we got the car, it did need a fair bit of work. Though it had been tracked quite successfully over the last few years, retiring more or less about 12 months before we bought it, it hadn't been MOT'd for about 4 years. So, before I used it in anger, I wanted to make sure that it was going to be safe. So, I spoke with Will, co-host of the Radiator Arms podcast, and said, do you know what? I've got a friendly MOT tester that we can take the car down to. More than that, he'll let us use the ramps, we can film whatever we want and get stuff done. And I said, yeah, okay, cool, fine. I'm a bit busy, but you do that. That sounds fine to me. So he did that, took the car down, the report came back, and surprise, surprise, it was rusty. Really rusty. So it couldn't make my first track day, or second, third, or fourth. Instead, what I did was bought a mini track car, then another one, and we've had a lot of fun as well as our own trials and tribulations with those as well. This car is the thing that kick-started the Radiator Arms Track Club. And if you want to know what that's all about, well, follow the link in the description down below. But it's a new thing I'm doing for people like yourself that maybe want to take a car on track, but are wary about being on big, busy track days with lots of drivers who really don't care what happens to them or the others out there. These are social events with a track nearby. We do things very differently, and thus far it's been going very well indeed. But today's video is not about that. It's all about this. Now, as soon as we realised the car needed some welding, well, we started getting parts together, and that was the first hurdle. It turns out that though a decade ago you could get just about anything for these, now it was really tricky. And the two big things we needed were sills and rear arches. Now, sills are not complicated. They can be relatively easily fabricated. Arches are very different. And I phoned around just about everybody I could. I mentioned it in a recent video and had lots of people get in touch and give me recommendations. And I called all of them. And nobody had a set of rear arches for one of these. Handily, my good friend Chris, who was really the architect of buying this in the first place, got in touch with a company on eBay who weren't advertising rear arches for this, instead other parts, and it turned out they did have a set. They were for a 5-door, not a 3-door, but we were told they are exactly the same and they'll fit. Cool, great. So they were purchased and sent over to the garage, who said they could do the welding, no problem whatsoever. We got the bits in. They then said, yeah, okay, there's another couple of bits we need. Got those bought. And the welding started. And then a few weeks later, Will sent me a picture and it had me concerned. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, that doesn't look like particularly good, neat or tidy welding. Now, I wasn't expecting proper stack of pennies, artistic Instagram quality welding for the car. It is a track car after all, it just needs to be functional. However, this to me looked like somebody that just didn't care. It looked like I'd done the welding and I was a little bit worried about the quality of it. Now, had I known at the time how good his welding was, at that point I would have said, no, stop, let's take it somewhere else. It was only, unfortunately, a couple of weeks later when I saw the welding he'd done on the exhaust for our Mini that I saw just how good his work was. And at this point I said to Will, what's going on here, mate? I'm a little bit worried about this. And Will said, no, don't worry. You know, it's all part of the process. Trust it. The guy does good quality work. He'd done work on the Maestro before and I'd seen the end result and the end result did look good. But the midway, it wasn't promising. And I said, like, how much am I paying for this? Because the problem was, when we started, there was no quote. There was no idea of how much it was going to cost. And I understand with welding, it's difficult. It's very tough to say up front exactly how much a job is going to be. Because until you've ground back far enough to find good metal, you just don't know. A car could be easy, a car could be difficult. You're likely to unearth hitherto unseen things. Now, with something like this that's already got a stripped interior and everything else, I didn't think there were going to be too many big surprises. And halfway through, Will said, look, it's going to be basically about £1,000 or so. And I thought, okay, do you know what? It's not good welding, is it? But if it's functional, it's safe, it's solid, and it passes an MOT for £1,000, that's a good price. Okay, I'm happy paying that. No worries at all. Roll on another couple of weeks, I'm off filming and I get a call from Will. I can't take it, so I text him back and say, is everything okay? And he says, no, it's not. Can you call me? Now, you know, at that point in time, I wasn't even thinking about my car, I was thinking about my friend. Will doesn't often call me unexpectedly. If he does want to get in touch, he'll text me. And when he said he wasn't okay, I was really worried something quite serious had happened. So as soon as I could, I phoned him back, and it's fair to say the poor man was in bits. And I said to him, what's going on? He said, it's the Rover, some bad news. Okay, what is it? He said, well, basically, the arches at the back, they've been done so badly that the tyre is touching the bodywork. It transpires, when the guy had done all of his welding, he hadn't measured anything. He'd just done the whole lot by eye. Put it all together, tacked it in place, welded it, sealed it, and only then put the wheels on the car. And saw that there was no clearance whatsoever. It's completely botched. The whole thing is ruinous. I can't get this from one end of my driveway to the other without it trying to cut the tyre in half. This is dangerous. More than that, Will told me, by the way, he says if you don't pay for the work effectively now, he's going to sell the car. I couldn't believe it. I just, honestly, I was furious, frustrated, confused. More than anything, I felt bad for Will, who's now stuck in the middle, because he'd recommended this guy to me. I'd had other options, but for the sake of expediency and convenience and various other things, I went with the chap because Will said he does good work. If I want this done up to concours standards, I've got lots of other places that can do that. I know loads of people that can do a good quality welding job. And all I wanted was functional. That's all I wanted out of this. It didn't bother me too much that the thing wasn't going to be perfect underneath. Once you've painted it and everything else, you wouldn't see it. But this is horrendous. And when the car came back to me looking like this, like it had been parked under a tree for a month, used as a bird's toilet, I'll be honest, yeah, I shed a tear too. This is this is horrible. This is really, really poor. That somebody can not just do this work, but then do this work and say, yeah, pay up or else. We're now in the position whereby effectively half of this work has to be undone. As far as I can see it, the sills are okay, they're fine, they're functional. They're not pretty, but they're solid. This bit here though, this has all got to come out. We've got to remove all of this work and start again. And I feel particularly bad. First off, because this was a present. This was a gift bought for me by my friends. Also because this is such a rare car now. To see this and one like this, there's basically none out there. I want it preserved. And for this sort of stuff to be done to a car, I just... More than that, they actually MOT'd this. Now, it did fail, by the way, but not on that. They MOT'd this and didn't see anything wrong with their work down here. Funny that, isn't it? I bet if I presented it to any other MOT station, this would be given a dangerous fail, because that's exactly what it is, dangerous. No uncertain terms. We had to limp this thing out of the garage, round the corner, and then get it trailered back here. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Now, why am I not telling you who the garage is that worked on it? Well, because do you know what? I just can't be bothered for any more grief. I've got to that point in time now where to take them to court over £1,000, everybody's going to lose, right? There's just not enough money involved there to make it worth it. I've also got some other stuff going on with other cars of mine, which I may well have to fight, and that's going to get very unpleasant. And I'm tired of this. Why is it that people think it's okay to do this kind of stuff? This has got nothing to do with me being a YouTuber, by the way. I don't even think that people doing the work on the car knew what I do. To be honest, I don't think it made a bit of difference to them. But this is a present. This is something people have bought for me. This has real proper emotional attachment to me. I'm so excited to drive this car, to use it, to go out there, have fun with it, take it on my own blooming track days. And now we're in a worse position than when we'd started. However, there is good news. Now, before I'd even got this car back and I knew just how bad it was, a lovely chap called Lewis had got in touch and he said, James, my business partner and I are starting a new company doing bodywork. And we've both got a history working in high-end body shops, doing various types of repair, including fabrication, panel beating, painting, everything. And we're fans of the channel and we'd love to do something with you to help you out with one of your many cars. And at the time I had a couple of ideas of things that needed doing. My Citroen BX is almost ready to come back to me. Yes, I do own a BX. Many people won't know that. And then this appeared. And before I'd actually realised what was wrong with it, I'd sent him some photos of it. And he'd spotted instantly the rear arch wasn't right. Straight away, he saw it wasn't in the right place. It wasn't at the right angle. Everything about it was just wrong. So kudos to him for realising right away that needed sorting. It's going to be a big job to sort this, but he says he's willing to at least take a look at it and hopefully to take it on. But we need your help. Share this video with all your friends. Tell everybody about this. Share this tale of woe and make me feel better by telling me worse work you've had done than this. And yeah. Oh my God. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. I just did not see that one coming. But there you have it. That's an update on the Rover. Poor mate. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye. Baby, what have they done to you?